We all fall. Sometimes it's small and sometimes it's huge. Small mistakes may be mistake at work, disagreement with your friend, nothing major. But what about when it's huge? When you lose a loved one, when you lose out on an investment that you made and you don't get your money back, when there's some type of setback or roadblock that prevents you from achieving your goal, or you had a successful goal or dream, but it took a left turn and things didn't go as planned. So when we fall, it's so easy to feel defeated. It's like we failed. There's no coming back. All these thoughts start to trickle into our head, and we're like, what am I supposed to do? I'm a failure. But what if I told you that you can first disassociate the feeling of failure when you fall? Okay, I don't know who's listening, but every time you fall is an opportunity for you to evolve. It's a matter of what you decide to focus on. See, I've experienced falls that it felt like it was the end of the world. And every time I got knocked down, time after time after time after time, I realized that I needed a strategy to rise. Because every time I got knocked down, I immediately, it felt like immediately got back up. There were two times that I fell and I didn't immediately get back up. The first time was when I found out that I was pregnant my senior year, right before I graduated, was about to go to college and play basketball. 45 days before graduation, I found out that I was pregnant. And the second time is when I lost my little brother. The first time, it took me like 6 months to get back up. And honestly, the only reason why I got back up was because I knew that I had a child, a life that was going to be depending on me. And if I didn't show up, then I was going to pass on the pain and the trauma that I experienced from my mom not showing up. So that was a short time that I was down and I didn't get immediately back up. But the second time, the loss of my little brother, whew, when I tell you that knocked me down, I was down for 4 years. 4 years. And I had to really relearn who I was in that moment and every day after, and still today. And I had to find purpose in this new life that I had to be forced to live. And what I learned in both experiences, where I got knocked down and I didn't get right back up, is that I needed a strategy. And that's when I discovered that I was resilient. Okay, I was resilient, but not in every aspect of my life. I had to accept that my emotional resilience was at a all-time low. I didn't have the emotional resilience to lean on when I fell in those places because I didn't properly prepare. I didn't have a strategy or a blueprint. I had the strength in other areas of my life, mentally, physically, spiritually. I would say a 5 out of 10, but emotionally, I was lacking. So I had to dig deep within myself to better understand what is this life really about. If I want to keep getting knocked down time after time after time, why should I get up? And what I realized Oh, I realized the hard truth is that falling doesn't mean that it's game over. Falling doesn't mean that you're broken. And falling most definitely doesn't mean that you won't bounce back. See, this thing that we call life is funny, okay? And the reason why I say it's funny is because falling is a part of life. What would life be if you didn't fall and bump your head and learn something? See, every time you fall, it teaches you patience. It reveals a part of you that you may not have even realized was there. It pushes you to rebuild, but not only rebuild what was broken or what fell apart, but rebuild on a more stronger and wiser foundation. And most importantly, every time you fall and you get back up, it gives you the opportunity to realign with your purpose. And that is why I created the RISE framework, because it teaches you how to heal and learn from whatever knocked you down. It teaches you how to be more intentional with the choices that you make and use those lessons that knocked you down as building blocks to build up upon. It teaches you how to treat yourself in the hardest moments. Everybody else has already told you who you was. When are you going to step up to the plate and tell yourself who you are? Even when you're knocked down and you're all the way out of it and you're at your darkest moments. Because that's what's going to allow you to evolve. It's going to transform every experience in a way that you're looking at every time you fall from the perspective of, this is my stepping stone. I needed to fall because when I fell, I saw a brick and I picked it up. So next time life knocks you down, don't see it as a failure. Stop associating setbacks as worst case scenario situations. Stop associating it with negative connotations. Ask yourself, okay, I got knocked down. Yeah, I scraped my knee. Okay. My back hurt a little bit. What did I need to learn from this? Because last time I fell, I hit my head and I realized that I need to be more wise. But this time I hit my knee. So what do I need to learn from this? Oh, your knees, without your knees, you can't do a lot of bending. You can barely walk. Maybe this time, since I bumped my knee, that's telling me I need to stand up straight. I need to walk with some confidence. I need to be grateful. It can be simple as that. I need to be grateful that I even got a knee. So now how can you use that to rise even stronger? So remember, it's not about how many times you fall. Trust me, you will fall hundreds and thousands of times. It's about how many times you get up and how you use what you learned when you fall as a way to evolve. Because every single setback is a set up. And every time you fall, it's an invitation to rise unbroken.